Hello. Hello, kids. Boom. Hello. Opfinder. And trade a pyrotechnic. Hello. So let's get right into it, because today I'm gonna look at two minor bug things. I can actually show you here. So let's see here. So I'm actually working on making some new UI for the settings. Twitch donation doesn't work. Nah, but is there a link to it at all? I don't think so. Let me check. Is there a donation link? No. I'm not sure what you mean, gonna go. Donation doesn't work. I'm not partner or anything on Twitch or stuff like that. So anyway, so I'm working on some new UI for the settings, because the settings UI, if you notice it, is basically the same in the multiplayer version as it is in the default game. But the problem is that the more the game develops or evolves, the more we need to have some a lot more settings, basically. Bindable controls at some point, game settings for various settings, graphics settings, yada yada yada. So so therefore I'm working on that. However, after I did this fix a few days ago, not sure exactly if it's due to that, but it's not necessarily anything to do with that really, but I've just seen a couple of people having a lot of or some weird issues that I don't know if I can fix it specifically, but I can at least try and do something to kind of minimize some of them. Some of them I can recreate, maybe. Some of them I just have to guess, because I don't know how to recreate it. So basically, there was some null pointer reference in something. I fixed that already. So a new one is that I got a ticket from Hardstyle with a tons of these messages. The problem is that these are internal netcode messages, so I don't know. I can't really see what the problem is, but there might be some indicators here that this network object show it could be maybe something I do. It's not necessarily a problem in netcode. It could be my fault, but the problem is that I don't know from these errors what I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing anything wrong. So anyway, so this is the first one I'm going to look at. I can't recreate it, so I can't kind of see, because normally what you want to do when you have a bug, you want to reproduce it on my machine. So when one of you create a bug and send it in to me, I want to recreate it on my machine, and then I want to fix it. Because if I don't recreate it myself first, it's hard to know if you fix the bug. So hello Racing Man, hello Toxty, hello Keltosar. Keltosar, you are here. You shouldn't be here. You promised me you wouldn't be here. You know I'm not streaming when you are here. Anyway, jokes aside. So, so you want to recreate the bug and then fix it, so you know you fixed it, else you think you're fixing it. However, it's not always possible to do that. So, and this is one of these cases. So I'm just gonna wing it and try stuff. So, as I said, this seems to... It can be many things, but it seems to have something to do with the network object show thingy. And funny enough, I have something called object. What's it called? It's called visibility no, what it's called? Object visibility manager. Whoa. Let's zoom in a bit. So let's see here. So this is basically the logic that this is the manager that keeps track of where all the clients are in the game and how far they are from various things. So the host keeps track of that. And the reason it do that is because is so that when you as a client are far away from a piece of fireworks that is not ignited and is not statically placed, then to save traffic and save CPU and power from the host, these are despawned on the clients. And that's why you are seeing when you're getting closer to things, they're kind of popping in because you are getting within 20 meters and then it starts to show. So here I'm doing some stuff with some visibility, and here I'm, as you can see, I'm calling something called network show, network hide. That's all good. So could this be again, I'm not seeing any direct connection here. I'm totally guessing. But so the real problem is that something is null, and it's apparently when it tries to get its transform. However, it's inside get message scene object for a client, and then it's and this happens when it's trying to send a spawn for this one. So it's like it's trying to spawn something that isn't really there. So how can this happen? Good question. Now that I look at it, because I have some tricks here, I don't think actually there's anything to do with that. Okay, we have to move on because this guy is dancing. Woo! Thank you for the following, Kona. Anyway, Amnesty is what he's complaining about something again. I'm still very much experiencing the muffle sound, but I wish it just bring back to the way it used to be for now. Yeah, and I can turn it kind of back really, but I also want to have it working, but it's not. I'm not sure I can. And this actually brings me back. Basically, what Amnesty is complaining about, which is fair, is this new muffling sound. So when a sound is played behind something, no matter the thickness of it, but if there's a collider, you will get it played in this kind of muffled sound, like it would in reality when things are behind stuff far away. Sadly, the far away doesn't have an effect on this one, which is kind of sad, but then it becomes this kind of muffled sound, and that is really cool in some scenarios and not so cool in some other scenarios. So like for instance, oops, not this one. And let me just, because I'm such a perfect live streamer, I just can do something like this. Boom, and do this. Yes, okay. So for instance, if you have a house and you as a player are standing over here, and we have a cake over here that is shooting up fireworks. Okay, so the first sound that is played is this one down here. Which is the boom when it shoots up. That sound plays here, and it does a tracking here. Say, okay, there's a house here. We can't get to the player, so we play it like muffled. Okay, the next sound is the one up here, where it explodes. It does again a race trace, seeing, okay, can we see the player? Yes, we can, and therefore it plays this sound perfectly fine without this muffled stuff. Okay. So in this case, this actually works. It also works if there is music playing inside a house, for instance. It can't get out to the player, so it sounds like it's inside a house and it's like boom, 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 and very deep. Perfect. Where things become a problem is when Amnesty is standing over here, or somebody else is, and a screamer sound is kind of kicked off. So let's say one of these going up here is kind of a wee thingy. The thing is that the way it works is that sound is actually played from here. Then there are some, Then there are of course, some visual stuff going up here, but the sound is really played, as I remember, and this is what we're seeing here, is really played from here, and it just sounds like wee, like it's going away. But it's played from here, so that results in this one not getting to the player, meaning he can actually physically see the stuff going up here, but the sound is all bleh because it's being played behind the house. So now you all know how that works. And the problem is that in these scenarios, this effect is a little distracting. In the right scenarios, it's perfect. In the wrong ones, it's not so good. So that's why I'm trying to also figure out how I can do this in a better way. And this brings me back, and now it's full circle, back to the settings, because one of the new settings, there's a lot of new settings, but one of the new settings is that I can do something to turn this off. You know, some people like it, some people don't. And of course, it's up to you as a player if you want to hear it or not. So it's a client player thing that you can turn off. But we need new settings for that. Anyway, let's go back because this was not what we were gonna look at. So I didn't follow along in the chat because I'm speaking so much and is busy. By the way, how does it work when I'm switching this much around? Because I think when I'm kind of rewatching some of my own stuff, sometimes it's much more interesting to look at if stuff is just, you know, cutting back and forth. Maybe not too much, but just something. And then you kind of want to show something, you zoom in and show that, blah, 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 go back, say something, go in again, blah, 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 blah. So how does that work? Is it too fast or is it too weird? Yeah, the problem is that the muffled sound is there when there's nothing between me and the fireworks, except for an open sky. Exactly as MSD, and that's the scenario running into here, as I just explained. At least that's the scenario I have seen. Hello, Artem Dornik. Thank you for the following. Yeah, so that's it. So what I'm going to do now, to in the interest of the time, is that I'm not gonna be able to fix this one right now. What I am gonna look at is actually something here, which is a bug that maybe have been fixed due to some other things, and maybe not. The problem is that the erase tool, when you can left click and right click. When you left click on the erase tool, you are deleting one thing. When you are right clicking, you can actually hold it down. So it's like ticking every frame, which is kind of a mass delete. So you just hold right click and then just and then it removes everything. The problem is sometimes that's so fast that you're sending too many messages to the host about deleting stuff, and the host starts to cry due to it being too much. Okay. Hello, Artem. Welcome. By the way, I see some more people coming in here on Twitch. Have you guys also recently got, this is totally off topic, or well, not off topic because we are in a live stream, so, you know, but I got an update to my Twitch account or Twitch app some days ago, where they kind of changed the front page to be kind of TikTok shorts reel thingy. So now you kind of scroll up to go through live streams, which is a fine idea because it works for TikTok and it works for YouTube and it works for all these things, except all Twitch's content is horizontal. So when you're watching it like this, you're getting all this small picture. So it's just, I know why they're doing it because they can see it works on other platform, but it's just a weird move to Twitch. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a weird move. Again, I know why they're doing it, but yeah, it's just weird scrolling vertically when what you're watching is horizontal. And then you click in and then you get into the normal. Yeah, it's just a weird, yeah, I don't really get it. Okay, so what was I gonna, okay, let's just keep it simple. So I'm just gonna join in on the flat map here. Or maybe I have a lot of mods. I have some mods. Oh, damn it. Normally I don't have any mods because, you know, I'm going in and out all the time, so it's kind of annoying. But let's see if we can undo them next time. So let's try and just take something we can clearly see. Let's just do a bunch of these. And then let's try and do some deletion here. So and let's take my regular character. And we can do this just the same. Boom. Okay. So let's see. So when we're just, and now we are, the focus is down here and you most likely can't see what it says, but pay attention if something red shows up. So we are deleting stuff. All good. I'm left clicking now. So that's all good. Perfect. Let's spawn a lot again. Maybe also to do a test, if I static spawn something inside of each other, then it might try and delete. The problem is if it tries to delete the same thing multiple times, basically. That shouldn't happen. So now I'm right clicking. Oops, you see? Boom. Unable to erase objects, la 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 la. Okay, so let's check this one. It's kind of a small thing. It was just because I'm gonna do a small update with some of these fixes because they were kind of annoying and I see them show up pretty often. Yeah, exactly. They tried to get TikTok thingy. Unable to erase object, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's based, there's actually no problem. It's just my error message. Okay. So you see, we are coming back to some of the stuff I talked with you about, Gonarco, about error messages not being the problem in itself, but the reason for the error messages is often the problem. This is actually a scenario where the error message is the problem, because I am actually checking if this target I'm trying to destroy, if it's null, and if it's null, I'm just returning, meaning this doesn't happen, meaning it's not trying to erase it again. So what I really should just do is basically just remove this, and we can just do like this. So if it's null, we don't do anything. So like that. Because this error message showing up is an error message, yes, but really there is no error. It's just me trying to see what's going on and whatever. And it's not really an error. Or you could actually argue that the thing is that really it isn't. Yeah, okay, you could argue that this is actually an error because, you know, you shouldn't be able to try and delete the same thing twice. The problem is in this scenario you can, because basically two clients could also try and delete the same thing at the same time, and of course you can only delete it once. So and I can't prevent that from happening. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it like this. I think that's fine. Because the problem that could occur that it's trying to delete the same thing twice is not happening because I'm actually dealing with it. I just shouldn't put out that error, really. Boom. Hello Panini, long time no see. Did you I don't know if we should take it here, but you were working on updating the nuke maybe? But maybe you ran into other problems. It's also fair enough if you want to wait and, you know, to we have some mod tools that is a little more final. Final, they're never gonna be final because, you know, we keep adding stuff. But right now we have one of the biggest problem with the mod tools currently for modders is that they can't really do network stuff, which is kind of a problem as multiplayer is kind of the new thing. But me and Konako are talking with Unity about it. And they know it. And other people are joining in saying they need the same. So let's just hope. Okay, so let's quickly just test this again. So right clicking. Oh yes. As you see, these yellow ones down here is not really a problem. It's just something that I only log out when I'm in the editor to remind myself to try and fix this at some point. This is not happening in the real game. So, okay, this is working perfect. Okay, cool. So we fixed that bug. It's something that has been annoying for a while. So let's just see that error. It's called this one. And then I'm gonna do this. Say fixed, and then the number 1138. Boom, you can see it's been there for a while. Boom, fix. Okay. I'm really speeding this up because I want to get to that UI settings thing. Also, so I can show you what I've done so far. I started yesterday and it's not final at all. Nothing is working, but I can also show you how I want it to look. But let's get into that later. Let's look into this one because this is an interesting one. And it's most likely me again doing something wrong. But let's read it first. Here. So destroy spawned network object on a non-host client is not valid. Error if a server spawns blah blah while a client connects to the already running game. I have no idea what I wrote here, but I know what I meant with it. I think there is a problem when you it seems like there's a problem when a client disconnects, because I think what is happening is that the client tries to clean up the scene, meaning it tries to delete objects. The problem is the client don't own the objects, the host does, so it can't, and therefore there are some errors showing up on the host. So let's, again, as I said before, let's try and recreate this bug first. And I haven't tested it. It's theory on my side, but I think if we go in here, we spawn some stuff, and the client disconnects, I think and hope we might get these errors on the host. But it could also be there need to be some specific scenario or some special case happening before it's happening. But let's see. And then I can maybe read chat while this is loading. Debug. When I delete something now in a lobby, I'm not hosting. Yeah, Amnesty, but I guess, but are you, Amnesty, when you're deleting, are you using left or right click? I think if you're using right click, it is the same, and I could really fix this. I could try and fix this in a better way, or add some extra layer on it, because what I've just fixed was the host side of things, so that the host doesn't try to delete an object multiple times. I could also add a check on the client, so the client doesn't try to delete it twice, because that's what I think is happening when you right click. But it needs to be fixed both places anyway. Yeah, we can maybe take a look at that in a moment if I can get this to. The problem is that if I can I can try and recreate this problem now, and if I can't recreate it, I don't know if I should spend more time on it right now, because also the fix of, I don't even know the fix of it. I just know that it's, I found something that could be related. I think I did fix a nuke bug at some point, but that was months ago now. I didn't get around to it. Yeah, exactly. I think you just, Penny, I think you just had some weird null reference things, that because things have changed, and it's kind of sad because the nuke is very, very used. So it was just sad to see all these errors in the console. But really, the nuke, I guess the nuke is basically made from it's not a custom script, right? It's just a cake script or rocket or firecracker or something like that, right? That you're using. You know, like the behavior you're using. Because if it is that, if you're using the normal behavior, you should basically be able to just build it with the existing released mod tools, and it should work in multiplayer too. But later, you will get, well, you might have access to it, but it's not public, at least the multiplayer network, the multiplayer enabled mod tools. Anyway, yeah, cool train. Yeah, multiplayer is working, but it's not, you know, not that I can ever make it super perfect and not have any errors or no problems or no disconnects or anything. I can't do that, of course, but I can try and improve it and add features to it, because, you know, proximity chat, emotes, custom tools, moddable tools, custom gameplay for dedicated servers, yada yada yada. You can do a lot of stuff. I'm not done, don't worry. It just takes time. Yeah, voice chat is I'm gonna do that. We need that. Anyway, at least a lot should go wrong if that's not happening. But it's not happening before 4th of July. That's for sure. And it's actually also one of the reasons I need to work on this on the UI settings, is because adding all of these new features, like for instance, proximity chat, there need to be a way to turn it off. There need to be a way to mute people, because people on the internet is crazy apparently. So there need to be some more settings, and somebody don't want to participate in the proximity chat at all, so they should be able to disable it completely. So that's also why I need this new UI setting to do all these things. Okay, so let's see. Let's try and just let some of them go here. So I have on the right side, so on the right side I have the client, on the left side I have the host. Now I'm trying to, I will just first try just to quit, you know, just like if I was clicking, okay, let me mute that. Now I'm kind of testing if I was just clicking Alt F4 and just quitting, like not quitting in a nice way. Okay, so these are all destroying because it's cleaning up, so this is not a problem. Okay, let's try and join again and then spawn some stuff. Let's spawn some more stuff, blah 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 blah. Okay, so now he's connecting again. We have a client here. Yada yada yada. Hello. Let's try and quit like this. Up, there we go. There we go. So, okay, so it's like when they're actually disconnecting. That's good, because then the problem is, if it was happening when you're just quitting a game, maybe it is too, but I can't really do anything there, because when you are Alt F4 just quitting or crashing the game, I have no time in code to do anything, I can't, do anything. Whereas when you are quitting or leaving a host, then my code is running and I can actually do stuff. So maybe I'm disconnecting from the host too late. Let's try and see if we can do it again, because this is the specific error I'm looking for. So let's try and join again. Let's just try and Alt F4 quit the game. And let's see. So we are in here, there's stuff. I just quit like that. It's not happening again. All these red ones you see over here, that's just because the game is not properly shut down, so no problem. Let's try again. Welcome to game dev of debugging and testing stuff. Doing the same thing over and over again. Let's try again. And this is also kind of, you're learning stuff, because this is also basically how you can help me fix bugs. Because if you're seeing a bug in the game, then try and remember what you did and then try doing it again, because it helps me. It's so much easier for me to fix bugs when you can tell me, okay, I got these errors. This happens when you do this, this, and this in this order. It's very, very important. So I need to be able to reproduce the error locally for myself so I can fix it. Anyway, so now we try again. We just joined from the client to the right. Now I'm just hitting exit and leaving the host and staying in the game. And we have it again. Boom. We only got one this time. It's a little random how many. And I also got it here. So, okay. So, and I just want to be totally sure. Again, I need to know that this is not random or time-based, because if I don't know if I can recreate it again and again and again, I don't know when I fixed it, if that makes sense. Hello, official Pyro. The game is free. No, it's on Steam, and depending on where you are in the world, you can see the price. But it's around $12, 10 euros. But it depends on where you live in the world. Let's do again. Or you were maybe talking about the mod tools. Okay, maybe I was interfering in a conversation. I was not actually reading everything. Okay, so we are in here again. We have the client to the right again. He sees all the fireworks, all good. Then he decides to quit. He rage quit. See? Now it didn't happen. Let's try and join again. Because now you could say, if I change some code now and then tried it again, I might have thought that I fixed the problem. And that's a common mistake. So that's why I want to recreate the problem. It's not always possible, but let's see. So now I just joined again, second time, and now I'm leaving, and here it comes. Okay, so so maybe it's because there are something in the world before I'm joining. Okay, I need to try that again. Or it's because it's the second time, which is kind of a weird thing. But anyway, I'm not making the rules. I'm just fixing it. Let's see. Okay, so create a new one here. Boom, boom, flat map. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, go. Join code. Yes, come on. Yep, boom, boom, boom. Join this one. Boom, daytime, so we can see what's going on. Oh, nah, damn it. Oh, damn it. Fuck. Need to try again. I needed to spawn something in the game before joining. I was too fast. Too fast. Boom. So let's see. Now we're gonna create a game in flat map, spawn some stuff. Once it's spawned, I'm gonna join from the client, and then we see. Oops, that, and then we take again. We just use the same, not to change anything. I'm using the criminalis one again. Oops. And now it does that weird thing, so I have to close it and open it again, but it's no problem. We can steal it a little B-roll while we wait, because looking at loading screens is not fun. I also have some footage from the other day when I was playing with, I think Racing Man is in this game, but I can't remember. By the way, are you hearing some sound on this clip? I'm just playing some B-roll now while it's loading, because I can. Okay, so you're hearing. Okay, perfect. Anyway, so let's see. So now I joined. Blah, blah, blah. I created the host. I spawned some stuff, and this stuff was in here when the client joined. So now the join is leaving, rage quitting again, and it's not happening. Okay, so apparently it's second time the same user is joining, and now it quits, and here it comes. So now you can see I can reproduce it. So something's happening when a client quits or leave the game the second time. I don't know if it needs to be the same player or it's another one, but apparently something there. So I can recreate it now. Join from client, quit, join again, crash. Or it not crash, but it shows errors. So question is, how can we fix it now? That's a good question. I don't actually know, but let's see. So we have something. We have from client network manager. Boom, and here I think we have. No, we don't have it here. It's the main menu. What is this called? Exit something button. Press something. I don't know. Okay, let's take a look. I can't remember. So let's open up the essentials here. Boop. And then look into the UI, and then we have some blah, blah, canvas. That's not it. Menu and buttons. We can zoom in a little so you can see something. And we have the exit button. Oops. Okay, come on. Exit button. And what happens when the exit button is pressed? Chakadakadang. No, this one. Player UI manager. And what was pressed? This is something I hate with Unity, how this is so, you have to know where stuff is. In code normally you can just do references, like a shortcut, and then you see all ref. So I'm used to be able to do that, but this is just, yeah. Anyway, so it's calling, so it's just calling load menu. Okay. That might be the problem. So we are basically calling load something, what's called load menu. I'm not actually disconnecting properly. Let's see, isn't there something called shutdown or something like that? And that is happening. Okay, so it is actually on the client. When it's destroyed, it's trying to shut down, but that happens too late, I think. You know what? I think this should maybe be called something different than load menu, but let's try something. I'm not a super fan of this. It's not the right way to do it, but is there something like, is it something is connected or something like that? Is connected clients, is approved, is fuck it. So when we are quitting now, which is a bad name, I need to redo that. So basically we're checking if the network is there, and then we're just shutting down, because I think this needs to happen before it starts to unload the map, is my guess. And you know I'm right, or maybe not, but this is not the most, it's not the most perfect code. But it works for now, and I'm gonna change this anyway, because as I said, I'm gonna do some redo the UI of the setting, and redoing the UI, the settings UI, is also gonna affect how the settings is looking in the in-game menu, which is gonna affect how the whole, press escape menu that you just saw is looking. So I need to change this anyway. So therefore it's okay to do a little quick and dirty fix for now. What are you trying to do? Is that for me? Okay, I'm sure voice chat fireworks MANIA would be real annoying, especially with a server full of mic speakers. Squeakers? Yeah, of course. And that's exactly why we need to have options to mute people in the game. Yeah, we need to you need to be able to just mute individual people in all other games, because people will scream and play music and blah blah blah, do all that kind of stuff. So, but it's actually funny that so many people, because if you've been here for a while, that you might have heard me talk about that. I was actually thinking that this game would be something you played with, not necessarily friends in real life, but at least people you knew. Just like you are, I guess, playing games like, what's it called? Lethal Company, for instance, and other stuff like that. Where it's funniest to play with people you know and not play with strangers. But apparently people have a very desire in this community to play with strangers, which is fine. But 2 seconds into a game, we run into the exact reason that you don't want to play with strangers, which is people shouting in the mic in the future when that is enabled, people spawning some weird stuff, people running way too fast, people doing weird kind of stuff. So it's just like, you want to play with strangers, but playing with strangers means playing with internet. So, that's how it is. But it's fair enough. It's no problem. And it's apparently what people want to do. And I understand that, not all people have friends that play this game or want to play this game, which is fine. But then you might know some people from the community you play with. I don't know. I only played stuff like Lethal Company with people I knew. I never played with strangers. Because in most cases, it's my experience that it's a bad experience. But anyway, this is how it is. So let's just keep, will you add fireworks MANIA to mobile? This is PC. I wanna extend the game to other platforms at some point. To be honest, mobile is most likely one of the last ones, because this game doesn't really fit for mobile, if you ask me. It could work in VR, it could work on console, it could work on PC. Mobile is the last thing, I think. It's simply not it's not very good fit for mobile, to be honest. But I want to do that, but all of these porting to other platforms is gonna happen later when the game is more mature and done. Because even though the game is released now, and it's actually, looking back actually, I kind of regret I didn't do it as early access, because this game is really being evolved as an early access game. But back then I didn't know that it would be so popular, and I didn't know, and the game was really good enough, you know, it was a game, or sandbox game thingy simulator. It could just do so much more, as I've been adding to it the last 3 years or whatever. So therefore the game is a little weird because it is released, but if you look at the game a year from now, 1 year back, 2 years back, it's a lot different. You know, we didn't have mods in the beginning. We didn't have localization and stuff like that. We didn't have save of shows, and now we are starting to have multiplayer. So yeah, so the game is evolving a lot more than a normal game would. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. So let's get in here. So the client is in here, and now the client is quitting. This worked before too. You've been disconnected. Yes, I quit myself. You are already trying to load another scene. What were you thinking? Why is that happening? So that's shutdown. What does that actually do? Okay, let's just try again. So now is the now we got this new error, but let's just. You see what you didn't see? There was no errors now. We didn't get these red arrows on the host. We do, however, get a "you have been disconnected," and "you have been disconnected." Why are we getting that? That is on client disconnect callback. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I should unhook this event before, because that's normally happening here. What can we do? We could do some things. Maybe I should have a. The problem is that you are now getting. You're getting a disconnect pop-up message when you are quitting a game, and that doesn't really make sense because you just quit yourself or left the host. So and that is happening because I'm hooking up this event here, which is an event that is triggered once a client is disconnected. And client disconnect, go back. So that's when you are disconnected yourself. So it's disconnected and then it's trying to, that's why we are getting that. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you noticed it, but we got an error saying something like we are already trying to load another scene. What were you thinking? That's an error message that I made, and that is happening because when we are calling this shutdown thing, that is actually triggering that we are disconnecting, which is triggering this event, which is then triggering the notification. So we see that, and it's trying to load the main menu. But right after that happens here, we are trying to load the main menu. So we're trying to load the main menu twice. That's not good. So what do we do? Because we could just shut down and then leave this out and then let this disconnect do this, but that would be weird because this is supposed to handle the case where you are actually disconnected because your connection went out or you time out or something like that. So we don't want to do that. But what we could do, and we need to keep in mind that this method here of, it's called load menu, as I said before, is a bad name. It should be called something else. Because what you're really doing is that you are leaving the game. You are going back to the main menu. So load main menu might be right, but now that multiplayer is here, we are also quitting the host or shutting down the host if we are the host, because this code is run for both host and client. So now you are completely confused. So I think we should do something else. I think we should maybe make a public method here being void that is called and this is on the client. So we can say leave host, because I think the other method we said a start client async. Is that async? No, it's not. Okay, yeah, we just call it leave host. Let's try that. So that should basically do this. Or actually, we should really do this. Leave host and destroy. That's a bad. We just say leave host. That's fine. Boom. So leave host. We can call that one. So if we now over here. Instead of this, we say, okay, if client manager instance, no, it's called singleton, no, instance, client manager, instance, what? Client network manager, instance, what? What? Isn't it called, what? Okay, wait a second. Okay, we don't have that. Okay. Wait a second. We need to have a reference to an instance of this client network manager. And we're just gonna do, I could also do something. We do like that, and then we do like this, and we say ba ba blah ba da ba da. It's already existing. Ba 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 ba. Because if this happens, something is wrong, so we can throw an exception. That's fine. It is pretty much under my control how this works, so that's fine. So we can go in here, and then we can say, okay, if this instance is different from null, meaning it exists, then we know we are on the client. Then we can do like this, and we can call what did we call it? Leave host. Yes, and we could do the same for the network host instance, because if we are the host, We could also do an else. And then we need a method to do the same here to quit that. We haven't done that. We do that in a moment. Okay, so if it's the client, we call the leave host, which is basically checking if we have a network manager, check if it's an object, blah, blah, blah. We can actually do, we should basically just use this one, which is another one. Null. So if it's a null, then we unhook this disconnect thing, then we shut down, and then we destroy this network manager, which is a netcode thingy. This also means that now that we have this, we don't want to do the same in the destroyed method. We could basically just up here call leave host. So when this one is destroyed, we try and leave the host, which is basically triggering this one, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. And then we are destroying this one, meaning that then it calls itself again. No, because we are destroying this one. So when we're leaving, we're not getting into that. And then, okay, fine, perfect, no problem. We need to do something similar on the host. We can say public void shutdown host maybe, and then we can do what we have here, and that's an async or I'm just talking to myself here. So we also have a shutdown host, which tries to delete the lobby, then check if this is not null, and do like that, and then it unhooks these events, shut down the network manager, and then delete the network manager game object. Boom. And then again we can call this one here, we can just do await this one, blah blah blah, boom, like that. So we don't have this logic duplicated, we don't want to have that. Okay, so now we can, in here in our button click, now we get back to the button click, we can say shutdown host, boom, and it's an async method. So, and I think we can do that maybe here. I'm not actually sure, but let's try. And so, okay, coming back. Whew. Okay, when we click the exit, the exit button in the game, then we wish, hello, hi, welcome. I haven't read the chat at all. I was kind of focusing on this thing. So let's get back. When you click exit, if you are the client, I can do some logic for that, but yeah, if you're the client, we call the leave host, which is shutting down the network or unhooking these events, and then shutting down the network manager and destroying it. Boom. If you're a host, we do the same thing, just a different method, need to do some other things to clean up. Perfect. And then it loads the main menu. And now because we are unhooking this event here, we shouldn't get into this one, meaning we shouldn't get that pop-up notification. Okay. Whew. That was a lot of changes. Let's see if it works. Welcome to Game Dev 101, or no, not 101. This is kind of complex stuff. Oh, not really, but a little. Anyway, I forget to do my, I hope it was interesting to look at, just talking to me. And Wirk, yeah, I'm so bad at names. Love your game, man. When will SP and multiplayer branch merge? Around December. It will. The plan is to send it to release, to make the version you're playing now in the beta, to make that the default version, is gonna happen in December. That's the plan at least. But it's gonna happen. It have to happen. But at that time, the current beta you are testing will have a single player feature too. Single player will basically be the same as multiplayer. It will just be a local host that nobody can join. So it will feel like a single player game. And I hide the chat and stuff and don't connect to the chat. I'll hide the chat UI maybe, and or maybe not actually. I don't know. No, because you don't really need it for anything. Yeah, you get some messages. I might just leave it. But basically you can play single player without having people disturb and join you. So it will feel like a single player game. Hello, Steffen Jensen. As you can see here, you know, single player is not here yet, but it will come in the not too far future. So we also have a chance of testing that for some time before releasing it, because right now only like 6 or 8% of players are playing the beta. So it's a very, very tiny amount. You guys here are a very, very tiny amount of people that are actually playing the game. So it will be interesting to see when we open up this for everybody. Mayhem. Anyway, let's go in here and let's see what happens. Now we need to pay attention. Okay, so this error is not a problem. This one, what was that? I just want to start over here. I need to give me a moment. I just need to pay attention here while it starts up, because we don't want to introduce. Okay, I know why. It's because I have some logic that to help myself test the game, the game consists of many different scenes, but the game really only works if, you know, I start the main menu. So I have some logic, recently added some logic, so that no matter what scene I'm in, when I'm clicking play, it's loading the main menu. So I can kind of get from the start. So I don't have to go manually back to that and load it in Unity and then start the game, yada, yada, yada. So it's automatically doing that. And for that reason, because I was in the Map Essentials, which is kind of a common scene that have all the common stuff like the UI and the chat and the VVox stuff, it's failing because the VVox stuff is getting started up and then shut down right away. So this error we're seeing down here is not really an error. It's only because I start up on that scene, which is not happening in the real game. MANIA on multiplayer beta, when we create a room and select a map, can we make it default so we don't have to click on a map, as now the flat one is always selected? You get the point. So you wanted to remember what map you played last time. That's what you mean, right? Yeah, that should be doable. Of course, it's only doable if you have the map in the list, because if the last map you played was a modded map that you selected, and you have then unsubscribed from that mod or disabled that mod, then of course I can't do it. But in many cases, I should be able to just pre-select it, really, and that really goes for all the settings. So when you're doing a host, all your settings are saved in a host JSON file on your computer. So that's why it's remembering your host name and your actually what not what mods you have enabled, I think. Yeah, maybe. But anyway, what I want to get to is that everything you have in your hosted game is in that host file, so that every time you start a host, it's the same as last time, unless you change stuff, of course. And that also means that the UI also, talking about mods, right now it's kind of disconnected, that you have to go into the workshop to enable and disable mods and then do a host. There's no visual connection between that. So it's kind of weird. So the whole create of a host UI will be changed too. So you can not see a lot of detail about the mods because you do that in the workshop, but you enable and disable the mods as part of the create a host UI. I think that will make much more sense, because then it's right at your fingertips. When you're creating a host, you kind of have to select the map, the settings, the mods, go. So that's the plan. But it's not. I'm not gonna change it right now. Anyway, let's keep focus here. Let's do the criminal stuff like we did before. We're gonna spawn a lot of these, and then we are gonna join from a client. Yeah, as Volcanic say, you can basically play with single player right now. It's just a matter of doing a host with a private, you know, where you click the private button. As I'm doing right now, this host I'm hosting right now, you could really join. If you put in this code, you would actually join. Then we get to another one, might have some password at some point, but basically you could join this one, I guess, but maybe not, because I think I might increase the version number so you can't join it. But basically, yeah, what I'm trying to say is that want to play single player already, just do a host that is checked off as private, then people can join, unless you share the join code. Okay, so the client is in here, and we're gonna exit out. Nothing happens, but that was expected. Let's see over here if we got this. You're trying to load another map, blah blah blah. That is not happening. This is some UI thing. It's not a problem. This is the same UI thing. It's not a problem either. So that's good. Let's try and join again, because now the problem happened before. So let's go down again here and have a look. So again, this is a UI thing, has nothing to do with what we are doing now. So we are in here in the scene, blah, blah, blah. And now the client is quitting again. And this is where we saw a lot of red arrows over on this side, and actually also on this side, but basically on the host. Let's see. Yes. Boom. If I had some audio things, I would play them, but I don't. So I can't. Anyway, it worked. So the host only saw that the client was disconnecting, but we didn't get this error of the client trying to delete stuff that it wasn't supposed to delete, because now the client is actually disconnecting from the host before starting to shut down the scene that is loaded on the client. If that makes sense. You shouldn't worry about this. I'm just talking, you know, making things interesting, saying what is going through my head. Anyway, let's just try again, just for the fun of it. And then afterwards, we are gonna try and shut down the host. Maybe switch it around just to see things are still working. So the client is here. He's in the same map, we can see, or in the same game. And he's quitting again. Boom, no errors. Woohoo! Perfect. Boom. No errors. Yes, sirs. Okay. So now let's try and quit the host, because we also changed, remember, we also changed the code for when the host is quitting or shutting down the host. And let's maybe actually, okay, now let's join again, just so we are testing that everything is working. So the client is joining here. All good. Now the host decides to shut down the host. Okay, so the client got a disconnected. That is fine. That is exactly what it should. These again are all some UI related errors. I'm gonna look at them at some other point. These are related to the current inventory UI. And if you don't know, I'm gonna change a lot how that works and make it more complicated once another company is coming with a package that hopefully can make that simpler for me. But I'm not gonna spend time on it, because I can save a lot of time by using that package, I hope. So therefore I'm not spending time on that right now. And these errors right here is coming from that, not because there's anything wrong with that package right now, but because I'm doing something wrong. But I'm not gonna investigate it right now. What I'm just noticing is that the client got disconnected, which is correct, because the client was disconnected because the host just shut down. Oh, now that we are actually running code when we know when the host is shutting down, I can put in a reason and say why it was shutting down. Maybe. Okay. Wait a second. We can try that in a moment. Because I've also seen a lot of people asking on the Discord why this is happening. What does this mean? That's also the lobby thing. Anyway, so all good on the client, and the host was getting. That's the same UI bug. This one I don't know. Okay. Nah. So this is when it's trying to delete the lobby. Delete lobby. Not found. It's not a big deal, but it's also kind of weird. So it seems like we are getting an error when. So we are trying to shut down the host. I know why. I think. So when we're shutting down the host, we are calling this method, which is at first, with no extra checks, is trying to delete the lobby. Then we're going in and deleting. And the last thing we are doing is after this has happened, because this is going on out here, then after this, we are loading the main menu. And loading the main menu means unloading what is currently in the scene. And this host network manager is currently in the scene. So Unity will try to destroy that manager. That triggers the onDestroyed method, which is calling shutdown host, which is then trying to a lobby that was just deleted. I need a button for a meow. But so what I think we might want to do is either okay. So you see, this one was trying to delete the lobby, starts out by checking if the lobby is null and then returning and not doing anything. So, but we're never setting this to. So what we could do is, after this has happened, we could actually set this to null. Might end up with some other issues, but let's see. Where are we else using this? Let's try that. So now we're setting this to null because it is actually deleted. So we can either fix it this way, or I could move this inside this one. But then if something goes wrong here, it's not deleting the lobby. Yo, you know what? You know what? I'm actually gonna do it like this. I'm gonna move it in here. But I'm also still gonna set this to null, I think. I think that is what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's also try something else now that we are at it. And really, this is not the best practice because you should focus and fix one thing at a time. I just can't help myself. Then it could be interesting to can I set a, isn't there something like oh, come on. Message reason? No. Disconnect reason. Boom. I don't know. Okay, so this is a read-only. Damn it. Cannot be assigned read-only property, blah blah blah. No setup. Damn it, when setup. Connection manager disconnect reason. Okay, wait a second. How do we set that? Maybe we could. So I can't set it here, but there is somewhere when I'm kicking somebody, we are writing stuff. Let's see. No, let's wait with that. It's let's fix this other thing, because else I'm getting. Yeah, we're fixing it some other things. But it should be possible, because what we could do is that before we are shutting down the host, we could disconnect all clients, just as I'm the same way I'm kicking people. I could do the same, I guess, without remembering how it works, but I can find that code and then do that, and then kick everybody and set the message to host shutting down, so that clients know, okay, the host shut down. But we're gonna fix that afterwards. Let's just check this again so I don't forget what I just fixed, which was that error of the lobby being double deleted, because we can't have that. Gone again. There, join, boom. So let's go in here again. We got these arrows, we know what that is. That's not a problem. Let's make it day so we can see what's going on. Also, because I don't think we will get to do a lot of this UI, but I really want to show you the settings UI before I leave. But let's see. So now we spawn some stuff. The client is now joining. And then afterwards, I think after I close the stream, I will quickly do a push of these fixes I've just done here, so we can get them out. Okay, so the client is in, everything is good. Let's disconnect. So no errors. The client is out. He's gonna join again because he couldn't get enough. So we in again. And the client is out again. No problem, no errors, so that's good. Perfect. So let's go in again, and then now we quit. Now we quit here on the host, and now we shouldn't hopefully see that the lobby is deleted twice, or yeah, couldn't found. Let's see. So we quit. Load the main menu, perfect. So you see a red one, but it's no problem. It's this view UI thing. Don't worry about it. We couldn't care less, because we're gonna fix that some other time. So we are back here without any issues. Let's see if we can create a new one, and let's try another map just for the fun of it. And over here we got a, whoops, damn it, the mouse is gone here. And we got a, you've been disconnected. So that's also fine. Perfect. Gonna go over here, we're gonna go there, we're gonna go here and there, bam, boom, 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 load up. And let's see here. By the way, I don't know if you noticed it, Keltusar, but if you're still here, but I have made, there is now, I think, 6 different spawn points here. So just to test, I added a new logic, so there you can have multiple spawn points. What? Yeah, this is also right now a feature, but it's a bug. But it's just for fun right now. It's a bug, but it looks fun. Anyway, so we are in here, blah blah blah. Let's try and blow something up and let the client go in and out a few times. Something like this, and we can also put some of these criminales. And then before we start the mayhem, we could also actually also start the mayhem and then have some sound on it, and then we can quit. Oops. What's going on here? Okay, but this is something completely different. These arrows, and that is why I'm using the flat map. These arrows are something different. That's another problem. Let's quit and join again. So we see no errors over here because the client quit. Oh, damn it. Let's start up some more stuff. Just want to have something going on when the client is joining so we can see it's working and happening. Let's see here. Like this, la 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 la. Go here and put it in the fire. And then we go over here and then we join. These errors we are getting on the client right now is actually when it's trying to synchronize the in-scene network objects. But I think this is it's another bug, but I think it's due to the way Unity works on the same machine. Anyway, so he got in, everything is synchronized, or not everything, but most of it is synchronized, all good. And we are in, and there's no errors except for these ones, but I know what that is. And now it's deleting stuff here. Perfect, no problem. Yep, all good. Now the host is leaving. Boom. And we got a bunch of errors. That's the UI stuff again, and we got it disconnected. Boom, perfect. Okay, so overall, it's actually working. So we actually did manage to fix that problem. What? Okay. So let's say fixed. 3. Boom. So we changed. We added this, yes, and we have the host right there. No, and we have the UI manager that is now doing this before it's. That's perfect. Boom. Nice. Nice. Let's celebrate with some upbeat music, just for the fun of it, or some sync wave for a little bit. What's going on? Come on. What is this? No. Come on. Ah, damn it. Okay, we go back to lo-fi. Or what? Anyway, okay, so we couldn't. I couldn't figure this one out for now. So for now, I'm just gonna put it down here. No releases, and then we're gonna finish off this version 3.6. Let's check if we actually have set that to that version, and I think we have. Yeah, 3.6.3. Perfect. Only thing we need to do now is that we need to update the changelog. Boom. And we do this way, which is very simple right now. Maybe I should also also have to fix this changelog thing because it's getting way too big. So you can also see how I'm doing this. Oops, I'm not doing like that. So I'm doing like this, and I'm going here, boom, and we say it's the 11th today. So we fixed stuff. We can do like this. Can we zoom in? No. Can we zoom in here? Anyway, so we fixed stuff, and we can see that we fixed. We didn't fix the erase tool. Oh, should I do? Damn it! I did fix the erase tool, but I didn't fix the erase tool. I didn't fix the thing you mentioned, amnesty. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that for now because I fixed this particular problem. Fixed issue where error was logged when right click erase with erase tool. I don't know. And then we destroyed this one. Yep. Let's see if do we have the error message? Yeah. So we do like this. Fixed issue resulting in yeah, let's just put this in because people have seen that in the logs, I guess. And we have upgraded to this one. That's fine. There, and reference and no spawn. Okay, yeah. Spawn method. Boom. So, and just like that, it's fixed. So, changelog, and we have fixed. Boom, like that, and then we can check that in. So we can see, check this one in. We can also just quickly check that it's updated, but it is. But and then we can close this one because we're not gonna use that for the settings UI. So here we can see we just put this in, blah 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 blah, fixed, blah 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 blah. I hope you guys are reading this. So, okay. So that's all good. So now we can do like this, and we don't want to do that, and then we go in here and we can add a little tag here, so we know which version it is. Boom, like that. And then I can go into my little tools here, and then I can build dedicated server and build and blah 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 blah, and let's hope it's working. So now it's just gonna build here in the background, and then in a moment I can push this version up, and once it's built, now I have a chance to actually read the chat for a moment while this is running. And then once this is done, I can push this update out to people so you can try it out. And I will also, meanwhile, I will also prepare a little post for the website, which I'm also gonna do every time with these changes, so people can see it. But it's just a copy of whatever is in the changelog anyway, so there's no problem with that. So that's easy. Clone that one. Then you can watch some B-roll while this is loading. And you can enjoy that for a while. And if you have questions, you can also... Hello, Keldus, are you back again? Or have you been away? Or how was it? We fixed stuff. We actually fixed a lot if you've been away. Not a lot, but we fixed a little. We fixed some important stuff. I never left. Okay. Oh, you were saying hey to camera Jogan. Hello. Good servers in this game are now all gone except for Granalgo, Musk and Windows. Nice thing. And think an update will appear shortly after closing. But also remember, Volcanic, it's very off-season right now in relation to the game. And the multiplayer is only played by, as I said before, like 6 or 8% of the players. So that's why it's not that much. If the ones of you who were here back in December around New Year's last year or this year, remember that there was a lot more servers at that point. But it is a very seasonal game, you could say. 4th of July, New Year's, and some minor other events around the world. Not minor, but at least in terms of the game, it's not major. New Year's is the biggest, and 4th of July is the same. Let me see, Racing Man is there at least. And yeah, Volcanic, I think you were there too. I can't, my screen is too small, so I can't see the chat. Yeah, the 4th of July starts in a moment here, or now, yeah. Yeah, but spammers are always a problem. But that's why, you know, each host can ban them. And eventually, we also need some... I will have to make some kind of voting system at some point also. so that, you know, like the ones who are hosting dedicated servers doesn't have to monitor themselves all the time. You know, players can help monitoring it by kicking and banning people maybe. Oh yeah, the New Year's is much bigger than 4th of July, for sure, for the game. For sure. I don't know what's going on in the demo video. I can't see the chat. What are we saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember. He couldn't lock Tim, so I had to show him where to get it. No, Stefan, I don't know. But there are a couple of Danish people. For sure. Hardstyle is Danish, I think. He's not here right now, but in the Discord. Pretty sure he's Danish. I assume you are Danish, Stefan. Jensen, that's very Danish. And I'm Danish. But Keltusar is German and Gonako is from Belgium. Will there be an admin panel for people that are hosting? There's a mod already for that. Right now the host have some console commands he can use to kick people and ban people and do stuff. And the reason it's console commands right now is because it's the easiest for me to just quickly add, because then I don't have to worry about UI or anything. But most of the stuff you can do there will eventually get into the server tab somehow. That's my plan, at least, so that you can go in as a host into the server tab and kick people, ban people. You can do that already, but you can maybe also change some settings while the game is running, like change the amount of fireworks and yeah, all other changes coming in the future. That's the plan, that you can do that in there. If that's what you mean with admin panel camera. Yeah, Denmark is not a big, you know, it's not a huge part of the player base. Not at all. Most people don't know that this game was created by a Dane, but it doesn't really matter either, you know. Okay, so now we have built everything here. Just check something. Boom, boom, boom. I'll just let this B-roll run here while I'm doing the last part of these. We're gonna prepare some server files for Gnarco. Again, the dedicated server is something that is coming out for everybody at some point, but right now it's not very good and not very stable or anything. So that's why it's only available for very few people, and really only Gnarco is using it. So it's not like it's a it's basically because the amount of support will be overwhelming if I put this out, because then everybody would want to try it and then figure out it's not really working, and yeah, and I'm not ready for that because the game is not even working yet, so I have to make that work first. But it will be interesting to see what we can do with dedicated servers, how much, when I actually look into optimizing it, what we can, how much we can have for players. But of course, the game will the limiting factor will pretty often be the client's computers, because so many particles is going off. So, but let's see if we can't. necessarily sure that the game will continue to be such a spam thing. I would like it to go more in kind of a game-like thing when we get a little further, or at least make it possible for modders to create that. People like a crazy cat I know could make all sorts of mini games or whatever that could make it funnier and limit the amount of fireworks that you have. You kind of have to earn it somehow or something like that, because that would limit the spam, and it will also really make the game a lot more fun, to be honest. No problem, camera. Cool. Have a nice dinner. I'm also leaving soon. I just want to upload this version here, and then I'm gonna show you this UI setting that I've been working on. Well, I started yesterday, so it's not like it's crazy. Nothing works or anything, but I can show you what I'm thinking. I just need to push this out. While you're watching some beautiful B-roll. Boom. Okay, like that. Boom. And then we're gonna do this. Hang in there. Save. Publish. Boom, boom. So, a new version should be out now. But you guys know what I've changed, so there's no really interesting thing. So let me just publish this. New version out with some minor bug fixes. So now I pushed it out and also wrote it on Discord. Boom, boom, boom. And we should be able to see it here. You can see it here. Yes, perfect. Okay, all good. Now I'm ready to continue on the next one. Okay. So let's get back here quickly, but before we can do that, I need to switch to another branch. We need to roll this back, boom. And then we need to do US settings, and then we need to merge in from this one. So we get the latest changes from that we just changed. And then it should be all right and fine. Boom. And then we can load the main menu. Maybe we should see it in here. So what's here? So let me show you. So what I'm basically aiming for, what I want to do is something like the UI is kind of inspired by Rust, really. If you know that game, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not a big Rust player at all, but I kind of like the simplicity and complexity of the UI, if you can say that. So basically what I have is a setting here, and then with some subsetting. And the same thing is my plan to do with the workshop eventually, and the multiplayer thing. So the multiplayer thing would have some filter stuff here, and then the list of servers. The workshop would have some filters here, and then the content when I get to actually change the UI of the workshop at some point. But anyway, now we're talking settings UI, and this is what I want to do. You hit settings, and then you have some kind of tabs here with some basic looking UI over here. So this is the goal, and this is what I am working on. And so be aware, I only spent like an hour or two or something like that yesterday. So this is as we know it. And this is the settings. right now you can see that I just took the settings that is in the current UI and then put it under these tabs. So audio, go here, display, go here, controls, there need to be more, but this is the controls right now. Graphics, this is what we have of graphics right now. Advanced is basically right now information about this. This could be more advanced stuff in the future. And options is right now language. Yeah, because remember, and I don't know if it already makes sense, but there's a difference between all these settings in here is basically your settings. So like, for instance, this thing we talked about earlier with Amnesty saying he didn't want this muffling sound thing. So that would go in here because that's something that Amnesty specifically don't want. So, and it's something that doesn't impact the rest of the game. You know, when you're playing multiplayer, it doesn't affect the other ones if he's hearing the sound with muffling thing or not. So all these things that doesn't have any impact on the other players will go in here, just like all other multiplayer games basically. Whereas all settings that, and this is what I said before also, this UI will be changed so we can kind of have, it could be something similar to this, so we can maybe have map mods settings or whatever. So that you have, because there will be more and more game settings, because these settings over here is not something specific to me or you or whatever. This is something for the game itself. These are game settings like how much can you spawn, should it destroy or explode, and blah 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 blah. So these settings are specific for the game you are hosting. Just maybe it's obvious, but there's a difference between the two. But I like this way of doing it. Right now it's not looking so good. Right now it's kind of tinted a little red, but it's not very obvious. And they also don't have to look exactly the same. You can see if you look at the reference screenshot that this one is actually glowing up here when it's selected, and this one have this kind of bar behind it. So I will try out something similar, at least so it's visually different. You know, this is like level 1, level 2 in a hierarchy of menu items. And the same kind of style with these menus, like using the horizontal layout of the screen, can work in Workshop too. With instead of having filters up here and search stuff, we could have it like here and then have this over here. Same to what the Discover and Collection could also be stuff you selected over here. Multiplayer could be the same here. You could have filters like I only want to see games with this map and this map, or only in this region, or whatever, only with this mod maybe, or whatever, something like that. Eventually, again, it could be go over here, and then we have the listing over here, and then when you click it, we could either maybe not show it like that. It could also be a pop-up. It could also be here, depending on how much UI real estate we have left here. So yeah, and this UI is just totally messed up. I don't know how to make that nice, but it's not so important right now. So anyway, so that is what I'm working on right now, this settings UI. And it's not actually just settings UI, because it's also the stuff lying behind this, because as you might also know, there's been a lot of there are a lot of issues with the resolution, and some of the settings and stuff like that is kind of weird. So I wanna, but I wanna say that all this logic around the current settings and how the resolution and all that works, that is something I did way back many years ago when I started on this, and the settings menu haven't really changed. It's been the same kind of logic. So now I know more and know more about how things work in Unity. I'm wiser now. So so now I'm gonna redo that and try and see if I can make it better. For instance, we're also missing the option of having a full screen window mode. That's not possible now, and it's very annoying because I want to play like that. So stuff like that. So it's both the UI and it's also how the settings and stuff works behind the scenes. So yeah, very exciting. Not a small feature, but it's also something I want to I want to get done as fast as possible with the current settings, but in a way so it's easier for me to add new settings. This UI is one of the reasons I haven't added settings lately, because I didn't want to spend time putting it into this weird clunky old UI. I want to wait until I had this thing ready. So yeah, and it's not working right now, other than you can do this, and you can see it's not beautiful. But my idea is to do something as we have where is it? Oh yeah, something like this. I don't know exactly, but I don't know if you can see it, but there's kind of a header here, and then again I want to have that header up here saying maybe language or options, whatever, stuff like that, simply with a text and whatever setting you can pick over here, exactly like it's shown here. Nice and simple. Some kind of header, name of the setting change, blah blah blah. And in this game, in Rust, it actually also have a hover over text, because you can see there's not much descriptive text here. But the way they solve that is that when you hover over one of these, you will get a little tooltip notification, not notification, but a tooltip explaining that setting. So I can add that too for the ones that needs a little more explanation maybe. So it's a minor thing, but an important thing, I think. And now my throat is very tired of talking. It's been kind of a hectic live stream, but it was kind of fun, and we did manage to do some stuff. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Also, it's getting close to dinner time, so I also have to get out and see what we are gonna have to eat. Maybe stand up a little, because yeah, I don't really play Rust that either. I don't know anything about the game, but I like the UI. I did a lot of research. You can see here, I also have, if I scroll down here, I have other samples too, from other games. It's not games I'm really playing. It's just stuff for inspiration, you know. So yeah, I also have some other screenshots. But anyway, I settle on that Rust kind of like UI. Not that I don't think Rust really, the UI there is very unique really, but I like the simplicity of it. It's pretty simple to do, and it's effective, you know. It gets the job done. Shows the settings and you can pick it without any fuss. So that's pretty nice. So can't wait to get that done. Especially because I love doing UI. Now, UI in Unity is, yeah, it's not fun. Anyway, gonna end the stream here. Wanna see more B-roll? That's very annoying, by the way, that the video have to start over every time I go back to it. But anyway, yeah, see you guys in the next live stream, and happy testing the new version. Maybe I'll join somebody now for 10 minutes or something like that, just to see if it's working. But yeah, see you in the next live stream. Have fun. Bye.